math teacher and our classmates. So today our group 5 has for the problem financial market tends to be stable in the absence of the market interference. And our group 5 has 6 members: Duy Anh, Hiếu, Hoàng, Nhi, Nhung, Thao, and Lan. And now I will continue with round parts. So the structure of our paper has talked about the moral hazard problem, the tax, and the political interference. First of all, I will show you that the quick definition of moral hazard is the name given to the bad behavior that can arise from an individual being insured. To be more specific, while the government intervention increase the moral hazard by engendering a business climate in which companies feel they will be protected from the consequence of taking the risky behavior. Because they are no longer fear these consequences, they often fail to take the proper precautions and to guard against the unnecessary risk. The lack of the prudence frequently has the far-reaching ramifications, including the shareholder loss, the insolvency, the bankruptcy, and the dissolution. Most bankers reject the moral hazard charge because they welcome the government intervention when it comes to protect their profits, even as they oppose the regulations as the hampering innovation and competitiveness with the foreign bankers. The bankers only want to get the government off their backs when the government tries to help the financially helpless and poor. The private bankers support the privatization of profits and the socialization of the risk. And the next problem that the government intervention has created is the too big to fail problem. By creating a domino effect, the failure of the too big to fail banks threaten to cripple the national economy. The government excludes the too big to fail protection. Under this policy, the government protects uninsured creditors at big banks from the losses they stand to suffer if the bank failure occurs. However, it creates a moral hazard problem as well. On the one hand, the creditors of the big banks who expect the government to protect their loans have little incentive to monitor the bank's behavior or to select the relationship with the banks that are prudent in their decisions. On the other hand, they realizing that they face reduced monitoring from creditors and knowing that the government will bail them out if they fail, the big banks will take the excessive risky projects and generally act less responsible than they would if they had to shoulder the full burden of their behavior. The result is the squandered resources and more of the behavior that leads to the bank failures in the first place. The more extensive of the protection that government offers to uninsured the creditor, the more massive the moral hazard problem it creates. And so we have the evidence of the Lehman Brothers, which is the bank who takes the risk, the big risk, and fail when the government intervention to after that. So the financial crisis 2008 is one of the good evidence for the failure of the government. After the meltdown precipitated by the subprime market crisis, many banks were bailed out by using the taxpayer money. Notice how in the above graph, the assets to equity in the banking sector have fallen during the subprime crisis. And now it is the part of Huang to continue.
Okay, so I will talk talk about the second problem, which government intervention can affect the financial stability. This is about tax, and the first one is tax can affect the housing bubble. The decision to buy a house can be divided into two dimensions. The first one is consumption for house, buying a house for consumption, and the second one is buying a house for investment. The tax policy can affect the second one, which is tax investment decision through the cost of operating a house. That's why it can affect the demand for housing. Also, the government imposed a low interest rate policy to increase investment and spending, so they can increase inflation. But plus the low interest rate and plus the low transaction cost and cause housing price to increase, then enhance housing bubble. And also the tax regime can create an incentive to take excessive for the household to take excessive debt because the interest payments are tax deductible. Therefore, it can increase the volatility of the price of housing. In some countries, mortgage that are subsidized to increase the house ownership with low taxes. Therefore, it can increase the house price and worsen the supply and supply demand. Also, according to Finland in 2005, if that in country with low housing tax, the price volatility is much higher than in country with old housing taxes. So that's why it can increase the incentive to over investment and increase and lead to excessive housing ownership. The second problem is the accumulation of public sector. In the financial crisis in 2009, the government borrowed a huge amount of money to solve their problems, such as fiscal deficit, to bail out problem banks. However, they cannot limit their borrowing because they rely on taxpayers for their funding. But in the crisis, they cannot redeem the debt and refinance. So that's why they need. So therefore, they need support from other parties to finance the program. And after the crisis, some countries in the Eurozone want to cut spending and increase the taxes, but they fail because this policy can put more pressure on the taxpayers. So that's the true problem of tax policy, which can affect the financial stability. The next part is the consequence of political intervention.
I will talk about the consequence of political intervention. And as we know, in the fight, the political interference in the financial sector, regulation have made a best situation was. So there are four consequences. And first, the financial sector was delay the recognition of several stability of the basis and slow intervention high levels of the policy to take contact technical. And as you know, unemployment and cost to is independent. And I have a example. And in Venezuela, the banking crisis in 1994. President of central bank says that the effective regulation and risk supervision and political interference as a factor to create the bank in the previous leading up to the crisis. They have been sent to another example.
Continuing with the empirical evidences about the intervention of the government into the financial market, there are another case during the crisis of 1978 and 1979. There are a case in Korea that crashed the financial market in this country. Also, it was authorized by the state government in Korea. After that, there also a crash in Indonesia that into the operation of tobacco and subsequently this political intervention continue in the banking structure that make the
Okay, that's all. Okay, and also how many reasons you want to give the reason? How many? Three. Okay, six go away.
The first one is about the information
That's a meeting confirmation. And the second.
and then affected by the intervention of the government.
Okay.
And the last one is political interference and the case study.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you Group 5 for their argument. So today our Group 6 with 7 members come here with 3 other different arguments to counter the idea that government should intervene in the financial market. And we believe that with the intervention of government into the financial market, it could reduce the systemic risk, protect the customer, and with the role of central bank, it would boost the public confidence to support for the stable financial growth. So first of all, as you know, banks is a credit producer of the economies, and without sufficient capital regulation, bank will face with the risk of liquidity, which will in the end lead to the insolvency of the whole system. Back in the 1990 1999, when the financial crisis happened, or because the Great Depression happened in the United States, and everyone tried to convert all of their deposit into cash due to the pessimistic prospect about the future. At that time, without sufficient capital, wasn't able to meet all the demand of cash. At that time, in the more recent time, with the case of Northern Rock, when the rumor spread out across the country, everyone started to withdraw all of their money, and Northern Rock was not able to borrow from the interbank market to also meet the demand of withdrawal. And the second problem is that with the regulation and supervision of the central bank and the government, not only the financial system will be able to achieve a stable growth back into the most recent financial crisis in 2007 and 2008. At that time, most of the policy was microprudential policy, which focused on specific case of bank and financial institution. And after the financial crisis, the regulator realized that they not only need a specific microprudential policy for each bank, but also they need a macroprudential to ensure the smooth transaction and performance of the market. And the third reason is that the transaction between banks and banks is carried out by the clearinghouse operated by the government. So with the government interference, they can ensure that this transaction will be carried out smoothly and reduce the payment risk between different financial institutions. Come to the second reason, Mr. Hua was talking about the customer protection role of financial regulation.
And now I will talk about the importance of financial regulation in protecting the customer. First, it's about avoiding the asymmetric information. The asymmetric information exists whenever one party to an economic transaction possesses a greater material of knowledge than other party. This is normally when the seller of goods or service has more information than the buyer. The consequence of the asymmetric information can include the adverse selection and moral hazard. So the implication is that ensures the financial institutions will provide enough information about their financial and business performance to the customer. Secondly, is about provide service for the clients by supervising the agency. In the case of collapse of bank or financial institutions, customer would be ensured to receive part or all of their money. For example, the deposit insurance, the Vietnam Deposit Insurance, or the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation in the US. And lastly, we can managing the business activity. Specifically, it's about giving a barrier in financial institutions' activity in order to help financial users to avoid risks. Best possible come if business activities under control. Best advice from financial provider, the financial institution would become insolvent before the contract mature, and the contract are changed after the customer signs the agreement. And now, I finish.
List of supervisor, central bank can review in transaction and monitor costs for commercial bank and central bank hold bank reserve by two important functions: payment system and an important influence on the incentive and confidence that affect innovation, investment, and decisions on whether to participate in the workforce on fundamental drive of growth. Management of the economic impact easier by having a stability framework, including an independent central bank with responsibility for setting monetary policy. A simple bank council by all the way down is best for maximum profit. So that way lending away their money, they will choose the best candidate compared to the highest possible interest rate. This sometimes they are not aligned with government regular rules. Therefore, with government intervention, banks are encouraged to lend more and develop economic activity. And about central bank as lender of last resort, acting as regulatory and supervisory agency, central bank can prevent the bankrupt of banking sector arising from information rule abuse by banker and excessive respecting central bank and lender of last resort that will provide reserve to bank suffer from serious financial problems. Taking Northern case, for example, Bank of England has acted as the lender of last resort to provide liquidity when Northern Rock suffer from run out of cash to pay for withdrawal, and the last is result from lacking regulation. And Mr. Đức, I'm going to present the last part.
Yes, now I will give you two case studies to prove the importance of regulation. First, we all know about the 2007 financial crisis. It comes from the East bubble in the United States. As we all know, the East bubble, the origin of East bubble is from the regulation in the subprime loan. U.S. banks run out as much as possible and create the subprime loan. If there is a regulation, a stricter regulation about the subprime loan, so there might not be a financial crisis. And when the financial crisis has happened, the U.S. government as well as the other government had to interfere to reduce the consequence of the crisis. You can see here, they have to lower the interest rate. If the interest rate goes to zero to support the economy, bring out the quantitative easing also to support the economy. In the case of some bank which in the edge of breakdown, the government had to bail out or nationalize them. So with the purpose to stabilize the financial market. Here is another case in Vietnam. We all remember about the case of Mr. Kim and ACB Bank. He was arrested in night. It was about Mr. Kim. After the shock of Mr. Kim happened in the night, the next morning the stock market go down deeply and people run out to ACB Bank to withdraw the money. There's a really crisis. The stock market go down about 20 points in that day. And to stabilize everything, the government has to first they make an announcement of deposit insurance for any depositor in ACB Bank. Secondly, a statement from State Security Committee of Vietnam was bring out to boost the confidence of investors. And later, so in short term, the Vietnamese government has maintained the confidence of the financial market. Later in 2010 and 11, the government bring out the circular 36 to trigger the regulation in banking activity, including the capital requirement and financial activity of bank, not only bank, but also other financial institutions in Vietnam. So that's all of our presentation. Thank you for listening.
Okay, would like to comment on the first one. First, you against the statement, and also that I wonder that's the first idea, the three ideas, your ideas, so that is you support for the statement. The list of central bank reductions in
Yes,
system risk.
the first three points that we support that the
Why the government intervene?
need to intervene.
Yes. Means that you agree with the statement, right? But you have to against.
But the statement is the requirement is that the requirement is that the question is that the bank the government shouldn't intervene the financial market. So our group against that point too, which means the government should intervene the financial market.
Okay, thank you. And who like to comment? The first one.
Yes, and it's about from our group have some questions for you.
Let's go to the first idea, thing about the one about the individual health program. The one about the two-week health program. I would like you to clarify your opinion. I mean, social government interfere in the case where let's look at the real example, right? The Bridgestone and Lehman Brothers. So one bank was rescued, Bridgestone, and the other one led to die, led to disappear. So if you against the intervene from the government, so could you suggest a solution for that? Who will rescue the other bank? I mean, you will, of course, we suffer the bank run from everybody go to the bank and want to withdraw the money. So if the government doesn't help them, who will? I mean, you don't want the government to interfere with the bank activity. So who will rescue them?
In case of the Lehman Brothers, sometimes he has it means that who will, if not, if the government.
Not the government, who will help the bank? Who?
I got your idea about our to interfere problems, and in this case, we mentioned about the too big to fail problem in the first place, which is that because the big banks know that they got the government in for their backs, so they are taking the risky behavior, and also that they like act less responsible, and also they do not take any like good precautions for their projects. So that's why we take it from the first place. So the government intervention, like we mentioned that the government intervention takes the problems in the first place to take the too big to fail problems.
Right, so you mean the by not interfere with the banking activity, the bank will not have the bank will not have the problem in the first place. I mean,
We means like the problem is already from
so it is prevent from before.
the banks.
But are you sure? Do you sure about that? Because if there no help from the government, the bank can just take the risk, and when they have problem, they lost money, they will just start over again.
It means that if the government do not invent on the big banks, so the big banks will be more secure. Like they don't take any risk to be failed.
How can you be sure about that?
Because they know that the banks got their backs, so that's why they do like that. That's what we need the problem here.
But if they no one to supervise bank, they can just declare bankruptcy, and then they start over again. No problem. Because it's the same. If the government protection, they can just accept the loss, and some other will pay for it, right?
But why do you ensure that? If they fail, they will not reinvest in their banks anymore, maybe?
No. If they fail without government, right? If they fail without with the government, they can just declare bankruptcy and everything, and they start over again.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure about it. What
You
happened?
asked me, are you sure about my problem? And I asked you, are you sure about your problem? I don't think that they will reinvest if they fail, because they
No. I didn't say that they will reinvent. They will start over.
Yeah, they will start over.
Everything new. It's a pretty.
How do you know that?
Because
We
no one to supervise.
we don't ensure anything about this problem. We just
You just start over again from what the new.
I do not think that establish a new bank is just an easy case to do, because you need a lot of capital to just like raise to build up a new bank. So bank have to operate and be ensure that they are quite safe in order to not default, because when they default, they will have to pay for their shareholders, and then all the properties will be taken back
Yeah,
from the authorities.
obviously, when they declare bankruptcy, they have no more responsibility. So because they say that the bank with the bankruptcy, because they just say that they can't pay it anymore.
But they got their shareholder and they got their customer. Why they don't have
So
the
customer
responsibility
is-
about that?
The shareholder must accept the loss because the company went bankrupt. This is just something very normal, something very common. You buy a stock from some company, right, and that company went bankrupt, you lost everything. There's nothing you can do. It's the same with the bank.
Well,
It's,
okay.
so
First on what you say is based on principle economics that people will respond to the incentive. But what I say is just speculative. Why? Because when the bank of bankruptcy, if the one who go to start all over again, it's very hard. Why? First of all, you have a lot of capital. Second, when you make every consumer feel confident in your money, how they put your money in your money again? How can you start if customers say, okay, if you fail, you take your responsibility. Why can I, the customer and depositor, when the bank fail, they start all over again, but the depositor will think, okay, they fail and they take no responsibility. What is the just? How can I put? Why I have to put money in this bank? That's the first thing. Next, if you fail, how can shareholder can put capital when you fail? When you fail, capital is say, you manage is so poor. Why can I put capital in your bank?
That's the idea. Because the new bank
It's not about the idea. It's about the principle economic. It's about people respond to the incentive.
No,
Incentive.
no, but that's the idea.
It's not the idea. It's the economic principle. You cannot deny that. Okay.
No, I'm not talking about that. I mean, as a whole new bank, nobody knows about the new bank.
At the moment, how do you think about the bankruptcy? Or how do you think about the bankruptcy of the bank?
I mean, just spending on.
The bankruptcy, and so after bankruptcy, so that the bank can run business.
No. Bank must
Stop.
It's not about they can find some way. First, they can restructure
Some way.
their business.
Do what?
I mean, there are some part of the bank. First, they can restructure
No.
business.
My question related to the bankruptcy of the bank.
Yes.
After bankruptcy,
After bankruptcy,
how do the banks
they can go to the court, and the court will say, okay, I can give you some thing, you will restructure your business, and you do it again. But with some condition, you can restructure your business, and you can, of course, operate, but with some very strictly condition, or else they could not operate anymore.
Okay. What in case of Lehman Brothers? Do you know the Lehman Brothers?
Yes, the insolvency and bankruptcy.
Yeah, insolvency. And also that after bankruptcy, so that what does they do? What does they do? In case of Lehman Brothers?
They couldn't do anything.
They could not do anything. They could not do anything.
In the scenario when everyone else lost their money and nothing they can do. And they can start a new bank with a new name and
Are you sure about that? What did they do that you say that they start new wise with
That is what
new
you
brand?
change your ideas because
no, I
you
mean
have
because the
said
CEO
No.
now the CEO put when he was at
That what you say, that not reality do.
no, not reality. Nobody is
Tell me the evidence. Tell me
But
the
you
evidence.
against your ideas.
It's not evidence, not the reality.
Information.
That's right.
Your ideas to support the
Because nobody stopped when they just vote one time. They will do it again. They will start over again. So they will never. No, I mean, when you do something, you stop and go to bed